Choosing a college major and narrowing your career search can be challenging, even scary. And while we can't choose the right major for you, hopefully this podcast series will give you information to help you through this journey. Hi, I'm Kiara Lafitte, a multimedia production senior here at NSU. I'm also your host through this series. Over the course of this podcast, we'll be talking with professors, students, and young professionals who are teaching and working in STEAM career fields. The goal is to find out what it takes to get into the college program and ultimately succeed in the job field of your dreams. Throughout the podcast, we'll learn about jobs in education, computer technology, the arts, and engineering. Okay, so I'm here with Candace Decker, and we are having a conversation on becoming an educator. So I'm going to ask a question, and we're just going to lead through it and see how it goes. So how are you today, Candace?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What grade do you teach?
I teach mostly sophomores, but it really can range from anywhere. I taught some seniors this year, some juniors, some freshmen, but it's primarily sophomores.
What subject?
World history.
Oh, wow. What's that like?
It's interesting. Some of the content I'm learning with them, I have to go back and relearn it myself before I teach it. It was a little bit difficult teaching somebody that's 18 when I'm 21. That was a challenge within itself, within being so close to my age. I have a sister that's a senior this year. I'm taking her on a tour of Northwestern after this. So them being her age, it was interesting to say the least.
Cool. When you think back, did you always want to teach? And if not, like, how did teaching just become a thing for you?
I changed my major 5 times. 5 times. So, no, I wasn't always into education, but once I started taking my education classes, like my Education 2020 and things like that, I knew that's where I wanted to be. This is the coursework I liked. I liked being in the school setting. I knew from there.
Cool. What are some qualities of a person generally interested in taking education courses?
I would say being able to talk in front of somebody. If you can't talk in front of people, I don't really know what to tell you on that forefront. Being empathetic to others. You're not going to succeed if you walk into a classroom the first day and you're telling them you're going to have to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this is your homework, and you can't go back and look and say, what did they have going to at home? If you can't have any empathy, it's not for you.
Cool. Once you realized you wanted to teach, what classes did you take?
I started with Education 2020. I wanted to see how it went from there. That's kind of what I started looking at to begin with. I always liked history. I always liked my social studies related classes. I thought about doing pre-law for a little bit. They didn't have that here, so I was going to take all history courses to get a bachelor's in that. But I decided education was probably the path I needed to go on. That's what I really enjoyed.
What's one thing a high school student or junior high student, could do to prepare for college as an education major?
I preach this, not even education majors, I'll preach this to my sisters. I have a sister that's in 8th grade, one's a senior. ACT, whatever you want to do in college, get that ACT. Start taking it your freshman year and move on from there. Just get that ACT as high as you can. For an education major, we have so many things going on now, like Educators Rising Club that is moving to different schools. You can take dual enrollment education classes. Start taking those dual enrollment classes. Get that ACT score where you need it to be. Get in the dual enrollment classes. Jump ahead. Get where you need to be.
What are some of the challenges a student faces as they go through classes?
I think going into education, 2 things that I've seen hold people back every time. 1, that praxis. It ain't a joke. It is hard. I know. If you can't get through that praxis, study for that practice. Another thing is people aren't prepared to dedicate the time. Like I said, with all those extra hours, lots of people can't get that. That's a challenge. I mean, having a part-time job and having this many classes, it's difficult to do to still have to get 30 hours a week of observing teachers. So that's some challenges I see people face.
Can you think of one lesson or concept that you learned from your teachers here at NSU that you can take with you into your classroom?
Miss Howe, one of my professors, the very first day, that's where I really got real hands-on with teaching, with actually being able to be in the classroom. But one thing she said to me that always stuck with me was, you can always get nicer, but you can't get meaner. So I learned not to start out mean, but to start out firm. These are my expectations. These are my rules. Start out firm, and then you can gradually loosen up. But never start out la-di-da and saying, yeah, play on your TikToks and do this, that, and the other, because you'll never be able to rein that back in.
Right. If we didn't state before, Candace is 21 years old and she teaches 18-year-olds. So you could see her frustration in some way. But my last question for you today is, do you like being a teacher?
I do. I couldn't have picked out anything better for myself. I got a job. I graduated in December. I started a job in January. I like the school. Right. Right. I like the school that I'm at. I could not ask for a better school. I could not ask for better students, and I could not ask for better administration than what I have. I'm so blessed and thankful for that. I enjoy what I do. I couldn't have found a better degree for myself.
You teach at Captain Shreve?
Yes, ma'am. Captain Shreve High School.
Oh, man. I feel for you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. And that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Candace, for coming in and sharing your story with us. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for having me.
All right.